dust of Danny's World's biggest update has finally settled, and my job as the biggest Danny's World nerd is to sift through the dust and to see what fell through the cracks. Today I have some bone-chilling information regarding DYLE and his lore, and how he ended up in Garden View, and not as one of the toons. But before we get into that, I'm genuinely convinced that there's so much stuff that came out this update, we might be searching for new stuff for literal weeks. One minor thing that I just want to point out really fast. Behind me, do you see that? Do you see those things? Yeah, those are speakers. And no one else thought it meant anything. Literally no one. But why would there be speakers right here that just got added right next to DYLE's room? Tell me. Why is that? I was crashing out over there being speakers on DYLE's floor. But gamers, there was ichor literally coming out of them. Hold on, show the clip of me crashing out. Speakers with ichor coming out of the speakers. Are they getting infected through their ears? Are they getting, I feel like that, is someone infecting them? It gives that vibe. My theory was far-fetched, but you think the spreading of infecteds can be through sound? Or maybe this is insinuating the next lethal twisted, one that attacks you with sound. It's a crazy idea, but let me know. Regardless, the hottest topic, the biggest commodity that we have to talk about today is this man right here, freaking DYLE. And boys and girls, I have so much, literally so much stuff to talk about DYLE and how his backstory is truly more tragic than Dandy's. Yeah, let's get into it. Starting off, I'm gonna show you the new Trinket. So a lot of you guys probably already know this. Paint Bucket, it increases skill check size and chance by 5%, which is actually a pretty solid extractor trinket, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Whereas DYLE's is a little bit different. His is the train whistle. This makes the user immune to slowness buffs, which to be fair currently does only apply to one thing, which is the slowness debuff itself. Alas, it's really good when you're distracting V, or if you get hit by Rod, you're next to one of Bassie's flowers, and just Finn's annoyingness. However, my good friend of the channel talks about how this trinket is underrated. And I think right there, he was flexing, she was flexing that she didn't get slowed for completing the skill check even though Finn was on the floor. Also, once again, the ichor puddle thing, it still works. I think hiding in the puddles is actually just a new mechanic. I don't think it's a glitch. Regardless, let me know what you guys think of the train whistle. Moving on from that, we got something weird. Kind of niche, kind of weird. So, when you walk over to Dandy, he has 6 colored petals. The colored pedals that go in corresponding order to stats in the game. For example, red, orange, skill check, yellow, movement speed, green, stamina, so on and so forth. Same thing with the little spray bottles back there. And with the new shopkeeper and the new lethal twisted in the game, you would expect the same business. For example, red health, orange skill check, yellow movement speed, yada and so forth. Except I noticed something different. Do you guys? Do you guys notice something different here? Here, count with me, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute, 7. Why is there 7 colors when there's only 6 here? When Dandy only has 6. If you're anything like me, I immediately think, oh my gosh, they're teasing that they're gonna add a new stat line to the game. That's immediately where my head goes. However, before I freaking blow up my brain trying to put the pieces together, Groovy has his own theory. So I'm gonna listen to people smarter than me. Like Dandy, DYLE has all 6 colors of stats plus 1. What is it? Is it a new upcoming stat? That's what I think it is. Does it mean anything? Is it a second extraction speed? A second extraction speed. Oh, maybe. The top comment is, my guess is skill check speed. It's a new stat I've noticed when you view your stats in game, related to the new machine type. I also predict that DYLE's Trinket is going to be related to it since he's a clock. I'm under the impression it means there's going to be a new skill check line. Or skill stat line. Because apparently when you jump in a game, side note, by the way, they still haven't added the elevator integration. When you get in the game, for those of you who don't know, you can pull up T and look at your mastery. Not only does it show mastery, but it shows a bunch of different stat lines that are currently affecting you right now. And in some capacity, every single one of your skills is shown over here. For example, your walk and run speed, that's obviously movement speed. Your stamina multiplier and stamina regen multiplier, that's based on your stamina and what items you use and so on and so forth. They're theorizing the new theoretical stat line is going to be skill check speed, which currently isn't a stat in the game, but I think all characters have a different number. Comment down below what you guys think about this. I'm definitely on the field of, I think it's a new stat line for sure. Either way, we still got so much to get through today. Let's keep going. It's time for us to go on a DYLE lore freaking dump. So what's kind of funny is when you talk to DYLE, one of the things he says is anything is better on a train actually, except snakes. I don't know if you guys have fought the lethal DYLE yet, the new boss. He literally turns into a snake. So this is just like a funny little meme, either insinuating he's turning into the worst thing he thinks is imaginable, and he's trying to inconvenience everyone as much as possible, or the Twisteds literally just feed on your negative energy. And based off that, that's how you succumb. And I told you guys yesterday that I would bring this up in a video, so I'll do it right now. People complain about anything. Twisted DYLE feels like overpowered Twisted V. And the reason they think that is because Twisted V can see you fail a skill check no matter how far away. And among comments like this, there is a lot of public outcry about DYLE being way too overpowered and saying that he needs a nerf. Well, there's two sides of every argument, with some people making this counter argument that I like. Maybe it's not that Twisted DYLE is too overpowered. Maybe Twisted Dandy just isn't strong enough. Maybe the lethal should be stronger. Man of Melon is saying, based off how much of a sheer threat Twisted DYLE is, Twisted Dandy seems sorta lacking. So I think maybe it should be buffed a bit to be more of a threat. Which, to me, I agree. Especially considering you control if they come. These two lethal toons are literally like our boss fights. And we can control if we fight them or not. So why wouldn't you want to be a boss level threat? Why wouldn't they be an Avenger level threat? That is my mindset. That's my thought process. With Front Donut saying, please don't nerf DYLE. I don't think he should be nerfed either. I mean, a lot of people also just want his floor to get nerfed, as in less machines or make it faster, but I think that's what makes him so scary. Because there's so many machines, you're that much more likely to actually run into them. One criticism I heard about Danny's World is that it's too easy, which I wouldn't deny. But now that there's an actual challenge, suddenly people are asking to nerf DYLE because it's too hard. Facts. When I encountered DYLE for the first time, I genuinely felt scared. Like it feels like an actual horror game. I'm tired of everything getting nerfed just because Dangerous players can't handle anything hard. I agree. I fully agree. Fully let this man cook, dude. I love it. I love him in the game, and I love him being hard. I love that at any point I could fail, and I love being rewarded for beating him. I would say the only argument is make Dandy a little bit stronger and then maybe get something for taking down Twisted Dandy. I don't know. Maybe he gives you more items, like better items or a discount when you beat him. I don't know. Something neat like that. Regardless, it's time to get into the real nitty-gritty, the real bare bones. The main focal point of why I made this video, some crazy DYLE lore. Buckle up, you're gonna need to. So this is a radio transcript between Delilah, Arthur, and DYLE, which also, importantly, before we even go into it, DYLE is not a common, he's not a rare, he's not an uncommon, he's not even a lethal, he's not a main, he's OA1. What does that mean?
I hate to interrupt this radio channel for childish questions, but I must ask something. Go ahead. I've got time in between meetings.
Reminder. This channel is for emergency contact. DYLE.
When will I take part in the show? Join the others. Hello? Have I lost connection? There's no plans without actually happening, DYLE. Why don't you and me and Delilah sit down tonight? Chat on it some.
What the flip? What does that possibly mean? Going back to the OA, here's a theory. I'm guessing OA means optional A, since Arthur says that DYLE is in plan for the series, and there's more likely going to be more than one toon that doesn't make the cut. But why did he not make the cut? Someone said they assumed operative assistant. I could see that too, but that's disturbing because that implies that not only are they making toons with no intention of them ever being on the show, possibly not even in Garden View itself, but there's multiple toons who are just replacements. Is that what Coco was? A backup plan that made it because Coco was unfit for the purpose? Imagine realizing you're nothing but a backup plan. Fully functioning, fully intelligent entities whose only reason to exist is to replace another. And if that replacement never happens, what happens to the toon made to be the replacement? Are they working behind the scenes? Did they get to wander Garden View when it was open? Or are they just discarded? All this really means to me is that we're gonna get more DYLE lore in the future. Confirmed. Probably that conversation with DYLE, Delilah, and Arthur. My guess is that since DYLE has actually brought up the Halloween toons and how he knows them, my guess is that lore is gonna come out with the Halloween toon. This is an educated guess, but after today's video, not only am I itching and scratching and dying wanting to learn more about DYLE, I feel really, really bad for him. I'm loving this update. I'm loving the lore, and hopefully you guys sympathize a little bit with the DYLE. I love you. Take care. Bye.